foundation? Because I know that wasn't the original name. It was called Black Fathers. So one, what made you start the group? And two, why did you, I know obviously you black, but why did you target black fathers in particular?
So first of all, I gotta say, appreciate you
Man,
for having me.
Thank you, brother.
Shout out to Angie and Sister Tasha. So I started, there was a multitude of reasons why I started the group. It was in December of 2008.
Okay.
So we are now going on 11 years strong with the Facebook
Shout
group.
out to that, though. 11 years strong, shorty. Golly. Go ahead.
With the main Facebook group, and we have several others. We've branched off to Black Fathers and Company, which is open for all. The Black Fathers main group is a closed group for men only, men of color, black men.
Okay. I noticed that the other day when I went on the page. That's when I saw a company. I was like, so that must be for the Latino brothers and the white brothers. That's just fathers in general.
and even for women, because one of the things I'll say, originally we started as an open group, and anybody could come in, and it was a little bit of friction, kind of, as I saw it. It wasn't nothing heavy, but it was just an instance where men just wanted to talk as men amongst men, and not have anybody else putting their thoughts and input into it. My original thought when I started the group was allowing anybody in for the sake of people being able to see what we were doing. That was one of the impetuses that prompted me to start the group, really, was for people to see us, because I felt like in the grand scheme of things, in the mainstream society, people looked through us, they looked past us, or they just treated us completely like we were invisible. And I wanted society to see us, and then we have the documentary like When They See Us, and I wrote a poem on that and talk about when they see us. And a lot of people can say, they don't care about what society thinks, but perception shapes reality. And that's the thing I always go back to. So what I wanted to do was present a side that not everybody gets about who we are, and allow us to tell that. We don't need nobody else to tell our stories. So I created a platform where we can tell our own stories. We can say the stuff that we're going through. We can talk about our ups. We can talk about our downs. We can talk about how much we love our children. I made a post this morning. I said, I got a gift every time my kids came out the womb.
Facts.
You know?
Yo, I ain't gonna lie, yo. You know what's so crazy? This crazy you said. I was talking to a young brother. He just had a child, and I was telling him like, yo, it's probably one of the most beautifulest things you're gonna see, and it makes you actually respect. It kind of changes your perspective of the woman that you had your child with. Like me and my son mother, we tight. You know what I mean? We not together, but we tight because of the fact that I seen my son come out the womb, like, and I was just looking at her like, damn, like, this is amazing. You know what I mean? Like, so I encourage brothers to, like, I told him, I said, yo, this is going to make you treat that woman and look at that woman in a totally different light. So even if y'all don't work out, you can still have a little level of respect for it. You know what I mean? Like, so what have been some of the challenges? Because they say that black men can't come together or we can't work together. So what has been some of the challenges in trying to keep the group organized over the last 11 years?
The biggest one, quite honestly, is respect. That's the number one. And tied into respect is what I look at as somewhat archaic thinking. Like we have evolved as men, as black men, just as men, period, and as fathers especially. Excuse me. And a lot of people hold on to, and I'm not going to say that something is wrong with tradition, but there are a lot of views that I look at as skewed in terms of what a man is supposed to be and what we can allow, and how we think that we have to force our opinions on other people. That's really one of the biggest challenges. I tell people all the time, respect one another and agree to disagree. You don't have to feel the same way I feel. If we have fathers, just to put it out there, we have fathers in the group, same-sex couples, we have interracial couples, we have all kinds of things that we deal with, and you ain't gotta like it.
But you gotta respect everybody's view.
Right. Absolutely, and that's the really biggest issue, and we work to stay away from religion and politics, because those are always
sensitive subjects.
Exactly. Yes. And always lead to problems generally. But those are the main things. Just telling people, like, if if I choose to be vulnerable in front of my kids, I don't feel like it makes me weak.
No, it doesn't.
You know, I have pride, and I feel like it honestly takes strength and courage to be vulnerable in front of your children. And it shows them, especially your male children, that it's okay.
I tell the male students, I tell all the men or males that I encounter, young men I encounter down at the Full Project, like, yo, if you're not crying or you're not tapped into your emotions, that doesn't mean that doesn't make you a weak man.
Exactly.
That means something is wrong with you if you're not crying, you're not tapping into your emotions, you're allowing that to back up in your body. Like they say, gut health. You know, they be talking about like gut health. You do within your gut that makes you how you feel. So it's just like even what they said at the little BET thing we went to, and we'll talk about that in a second. But remember they were showing the statistics about black men and children, and it was like almost like 50% or more didn't even have any children. So it was like a small percentage that said that don't take care of their children. So it's like, how does that narrative affect like the work of the group or some of the men in the group? Because I know a lot of brothers that I know, they have trouble with the child support system and things like that. So do you guys like have not subdivisions, but I guess advocates within the group that like help one another through different processes and challenges?
We do. It's real organic. It's not anything really structured. Okay. But there are certain people who like really know their stuff. Okay. About the language, so I'll be careful. They know their stuff. You're pretty
cool. It's Angie show, so we can't do too much cussing or talk about the politics.
I'll leave that stuff. But yeah, generally there are some who chime in pretty consistently that really know what they're talking about when it comes to child support. For me, and I tell people, I know what I know, I don't know what I don't know, and I don't pretend to know stuff that I don't know. I've never had to pay child support, I never had to deal with it. I actually took my ex-wife down to start a case, and I had to jump through so many hoops and go.
You just was like, forget it.
I said, forget it, right. So that ain't my lane. But I know plenty of people who are in the group, some who actually work for support enforcement in Baltimore, and people will get in from time to time and give brothers advice. There are a lot of people who know from personal experience, and that could be one of the best teachers, not even just book knowledge or working, but really going through the ringer themselves and being able to help other brothers out.
Well, speaking of that, speaking of your children, for those that are new to my Facebook or new to the Black Fathers Foundation, again, you said that you were motivated to start the organization or group just to have a voice for brothers, right? But how did your children, per se, what made you, how did they influence you staying consistent with it? You know what I mean? Because a lot of times, we start things and then we don't finish it because we may not get the support that we need, and especially in this city of Baltimore where it's a struggle to get support. So how has it been to try to, navigate through the support, and how did your children motivate you?
So first, as far as my children, they're my inspiration for everything, and even for life. And I'll be flat out honest, and I'll talk about something that I'm going to talk more about later on another show, and that's dealing with mental illness, wellness, and issues thereabout. So my children, quite literally, my youngest son saved my life. Okay. At a time when I did not want to live. Okay. And I decided I was going to live for my children because I didn't want them to see me
messed up and again.
Not even just messed up and checking out.
Right.
Totally.
Right.
Not just checking out and walking out the house, but checking
out totally.
Exactly.
And I mean, we can briefly touch on that, yo. We ain't gonna get too deep into it, but we would love to touch on that because I think that's one thing in the black community, especially as us men, that we hold a lot of stuff in. Yes, sir. You know what I mean? And that's why it was important for me to be active in the group or be more active in the group, because we don't have sounding boards or outlets where men can get together. Because I'm doing my community work, a lot of times when I'm out working around the Avenue Market or things like that, and one brother there's like two brothers in the last 2 weeks was like, yo, I don't have nobody to talk to. I don't have no one I can express myself to. And they were just asking for some change. And I told them, they were trying to explain why they needed the money. And I'm like, nah, bro, you don't have to explain. You're a black man. You so happen to be today. I have a couple dollars I can bless you with, but you don't have to explain. But he was like, man, that's the problem. We don't have nowhere to talk. So I brought all up to say, I agree with you. We do need to have more spaces for men to talk, you know, and process things, because the mental health, man, I mean, me starting a business in the last 2 years, my mental health was fully tested. You know what I mean? I didn't want to check out as of yet, but I physically felt checked out and mentally felt burnt out. So I can only imagine, and a person would think a brother such as yourself that's working, it's a good job, working in his career, has a beautiful family, you wouldn't even think that you had that challenge coming up. So, I mean, how was your wife a support system through that process?
Oh my gosh, it's been tremendous. So the thing about it, just to touch back on what you were saying before, the question is really like, we all wear masks all the time, right? And a lot of times, and I know in my situation, I only speak for myself, I know that a lot of the things that I was doing actually became a burden to me, whereas people would look at it and say, well, you got all this going on, how can you be like this, how can you be like that? But a lot of the problem is, you got all of this going on. You dig? And just like we look at celebrities that kill themselves, like, oh, they was rich and they had a show and they had this and that. But a lot of times we don't understand, first of all, when you're dealing with the mental illness is a chemical imbalance, and then it deals with stress and all of that. So you can have everything in the palm of your hands, but you can still be dealing with the stress of a lot of different things. And for me, one part of it was not only the weight of everything that I was putting on my shoulders and everything I was bearing, and having to be responsible for that, but another thing was dealing with imposter syndrome and feeling like that I didn't deserve this stuff. Like, I knew people who had started organizations and people who were doing all of these great works, and they weren't sitting with Steve Harvey, they weren't sitting with Mark Zuckerberg. So
I mean,
that stuff, and then and then people bring it up, which is great. I appreciate it, but the more people say, "Oh, you did this and you did that,"
so you felt pressure.
Like, I did feel pressure. I felt pressure to produce because I get ideas all the time, and I want to do everything. Even now with the foundation, it's like so much stuff coming at me. I can't do it all at once, and I may never do all of it at all. But I'm just starting to realize how to try to get a balance on things. But I also, at the same time, I have to understand that, being a humble individual who doesn't go around and tooting his own
and bangs on his chest and run around King Kong,
saying I did this and all that, because and a lot of it goes back to this feeling that I haven't. Even like with the group, you can look at the numbers, and the numbers are fantastic, and you see the stuff that people are doing, but I always felt like it wasn't enough. I always felt like I had to do something more, because even when people will ask me a question like, oh, he works in the community, he does that, and I'm like, well, actually, I just push a button on a computer, you know what I mean? I got a group online. What am I really doing?
But you never know how, like I said, you never know how some of those stories impact other people. Like me seeing you and your family travel. I told you this before. I used to be like, yo, how y'all going on these vacations, yo? Like, yo, y'all be everywhere. Be like, I got one. You got what? 4, 5, 4. You know what I mean? I'm like, yo, the bro got 4, and they travels like they living La Vida Loco out here.
I got 4 by birth, and I got 3 of my 2 live crew that I'm responsible for.
Oh yeah. Speaking of that, man, did you see?
Who graduated today? Shout out to my crew.
Did you go up there?
Nah, make it.
I was so mad. They didn't even let me know.
They didn't let me know either. I was in my feelings.
I get a text message at 10 o'clock talking about, hey, you on the way to graduation. I'm like, what?
At least you got it beforehand. Tarion called me after. Say, hey, Mr. Prestbury, I graduated today.
Your sister said transparency. I love it. Good work.
Absolutely.
Yeah, transparency is key. And like I said, I agree with you. Like we do wear a lot of masks. And social media has kind of allowed people to wear masks. You know what I mean? So you don't know how you inspire people in different ways. So I definitely feel the aspect of pressure, because I know I was like, man, the brother on Steve Harvey, people probably were thinking like, well, how much money did he get, and what is he going to do next, and you know what I mean? So and you got all these ideas running through you, and you're trying to get them organized. So it's just a pleasure to see, like I said, it going from meetups to now it's going to be a nonprofit. So can you tell us a little bit about the transition that you went through? Diamond K, am I speaking in the mic enough?
Not when you turn away.
Okay, I felt like I wasn't just now. So all right, cool. So tell us how it transitioned from a group into the nonprofit that is formed now.
All right. Oh.
And why did you go the nonprofit route?
I got you on that, but first back to the question about my wife. My wife saved me as well as my children, and my wife and my children are the reason why I live. And going into the foundation, now my wife has really become my partner on that.
Nice.
So I gotta give her a shout out. Love you with all my heart and soul. I wouldn't be here without you. That's
shout out to Kelly Prestbury, shorty.
Sir.
Shout out to Kelly. Her sister says she's wifey is thrifty. That's my sister.
Oh, that's how we travel so much. That's what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's thrifty, man. I need some of that thrifty traveling style. But go ahead, my bad.
As far as the foundation goes, what happened over the years, every now and again, and generally when we get a lot of press and blow up and everything, people would say, oh, you need chapters and you need to make this a nonprofit and all of this and all of that. And I didn't feel it in my heart because even though I really wanted to have something brick and mortar, so I feel like I got something I can touch. And I see brothers every day whose lives I'm touching and all of that. But I wasn't sure about the support because a lot of people give lip service.
Facts.
I know you feel it.
I know that.
A lot of people give lip service and they say, this is what you need to do. And then when I say, well, come on, let's do it together, they like, nah, bro, you need to do it. You the man. You do it.
I mean, you are the man, though, B. I tell you all the time. Listen, you can't do it by yourself, but, yo, you have to accept the fact that, yo, the path that was chosen for you, for this town, and for our men in this town, you were the lead example on how to organize fathers. You started the Black Father movement. There was a lot of things that spawned, what's the word I'm looking for? Spent off of that since then. There's no disrespect to no one because inspiration is everywhere. You know what I mean? Like, so just know that you have inspired a lot of movements. And let me be the first to say that I'm proud of you. I'm proud to call you my bro. And again, to see you progress the way you did. And then it was an honor to be amongst the men we were with last week at the BET Father's Brunch piece. I mean, that was just something, for me, it was more an opportunity to spend some time with my son. It's an opportunity to spend some time with my nephew. Opportunity to fellowship with other men that I didn't even know. Right. You know what I mean? Yeah. And, you know, shout out to the transportation company, too, that donated the boarding for donating the vans for us brothers to get up there. Speaking of that, I know we're going all over the place, but you got so much that I want to touch on. I want to make sure we get it covered in this hour. Tell us a little bit about how the BET thing came about. Because I can tell you before I let you elaborate on it, it felt really good, B, to walk in there and to see Black Fathers Foundation on the joint, like welcome the brothers from the Black Fathers Foundation, like everybody clapping, like it just felt good again to see you's happy on the inside, and it showed outside too. Because when they were doing it, you had a look on your face. It was just like, damn, oh word, that's what's up. And then I'm pretty sure it felt good to have other brothers with you. You know what I mean? That typically don't really be at all the events. I know I don't always be at all the events. You know what I mean? But it felt good to be at the event that counted. So tell us a little bit about how that came about. Because a lot of people was asking me, like, how did y'all make that happen? And I was like, hey, man, I was rolling with the GOAT.
Oh, man. I appreciate you, bro.
Facts.
So what happened is got the foundation started up and running, right? We now nonprofit status through our fiscal sponsor. And I personally was reached out to by Tayel Head BET.
Okay.
He's a senior VP of something.
Oh yeah, we need him in the pockets. Huh?
Yeah. Oh, look, I'm already on it. So
okay.
Cut the check. That's my new favorite phrase.
Yeah.
So anyway, he reached out to me, sent an email, and then we later spoke on the phone, and he said, "Look, BET is putting this thing together, Father and Son Brunch. We're gonna invite 50 dads and their sons. We're reserving half of the tickets for members of Black Fathers."
Yo, that's crazy.
So that was just off the rip, and off of him reaching out to me. And I've been blessed, and I totally recognize that I've been blessed throughout, because one thing a lot of people don't know, when I came back from Steve Harvey, everybody was like, well, how'd you do it? Who you talk to? I want to write. Who do I write to? And I'm like, they called me.
Yeah.
They really did.
Same thing with Zuckerberg, right?
Same thing with Zuckerberg. Yeah, dude sent me an email on a Monday afternoon. I was at work. I was working in a preschool at the time. He sends me an email and says, "You want to come out to Menlo Park?" So I look.
I'd have thought it was a dispensary. I wouldn't know what it was.
So I'm thinking in my head, I think that's in California.
Right.
I look on Google Maps. I'm like, yep, it's in California. I email yo back. I'm like, you know I'm in Baltimore, right? He said, yeah, we're going to fly you out. I sent another email back. I said, you sure you got the right guy? You going to fly me out, pay for it and all of this. And this was like the start before anybody was paying to fly me out.
Right. Before the books and all that.
Right. So he said, yeah, we got the right guy. We want to talk to you. So after I get off of work, boom, I'm on the phone with him. It's still Monday night. Talk to him, and he said, we want to bring you out and have you meet up with the people, all the engineers who work on the groups team that put the groups features together are gonna be out here at this one time. Normally they like scattered across the country, but they all gonna be here. We want you to meet them. So Thursday night, I'm on a plane, BWI, going out there, and get out there, and then Friday I get on Facebook campus, and I walk in the door, meet the lady who's showing me around, and she's like, 3 o'clock, you want to talk to Zuckerberg. So
how was that like, yo? Was he like a cool dude, or was he like did he have like a stick in his?
Nah, he ain't no stick up his ass or nothing at all. He was real cool. He touched my phone and I ain't washed it since. That's what I told him.
Hope he put some, hope he cut a check with Black Father shit.
Well, he has now. That's how the foundation started.
Oh, that's what's up.
That's how the foundation started. Yeah, so because everybody always asks me that. Did he give you any money? Did Steve Harvey ain't yet, but listen up.
I'm actually surprised Steve Harvey ain't reach out to you for his mentoring thing that he do with the little thing that he do every year, like the hoodie awards and all that stuff.
I ain't heard nothing yet, but he's still.
And my brother Nigel said, straight up, yeah, definitely. Was actually one of your biggest supporters too.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? Like, I had plenty of conversations with in the office. He was like, yo, Prestbury the man. He made me want to be a good father to my daughter. This when Nevis was first born. You know what I mean? So, definitely shout out to the brother. Definitely one of the pioneers on multiple levels.
Definitely.
Here, you know what I mean?
I hosted a tea party, a father-daughter tea party down T-Ball. And came when Nevis was a baby. I still got a picture of him. I had that forever. Was one of the attendees. We had several. We had a really good time, and that was many years ago, obviously, because she was still like. I don't even know if she was a year old yet.
I mean, you done did kite flying with the brothers. I mean, you did fishing. I mean, how did you even pick the activities that you decide to do with the brothers? Like, what goes into the thought process of that?
Stuff just come in my head. I promise you. It's like.
So you don't be like, yo, we're going fishing, we're going to do this, we're going to do all dad stuff. You know what I mean?
That's the thing.
Are we doing all dad stuff?
I promise you, I'm so unorganized, and that's something I'm working on, and that's something my wife is helping me with. Shout out to my wife again.
Shout out to Kelly Prestbury. Yeah. She's the backbone.
Because I tell any and everybody, I'm the type of dude that would just wake up, and this is really, really, truly how I started. So when Bryce and Breon were first born, they 17 months apart. When they got old enough, I would just jump up in the morning and I would take them to the park, and my ex-wife would still be asleep and everything. I didn't bother her. I just get up and take them out, and I see other men out there doing the same. And so as time went on, I just started reaching out. Like when I first got on Facebook, I'm like, yo, it's nice outside. It's 75. Let's go to Patterson Park. And I just shoot it out on Facebook, real loose like that. You know what I mean? Spontaneous as it came to it. You feel me? That's how I was. So. And that's really how I've been. Like, stuff would just come to me, and I'm like, yo, or we go somewhere, like we've been to Patterson Park before.
Right.
They had a fishing rodeo, so I'm like, yo, we could do this too.
Right.
Let's just get out and go fishing sometime. Or the kite thing, I just had a love for kites. Like I said, I worked in preschools before, and we would do that at times. We would have the kids make kites and all that stuff. So I've always loved flying kites. I would go, like my brother had invited me down to Fort McHenry and stuff like that. So that's
now, do you have any other organizations or local, local organizations that do you work with any other fathers organizations in the city or groups?
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm all about partnerships. One, as you know, the biggest one that I'm connected with really is Band of Brothers. Okay. Shout out to Band of Brothers.
Shout out to those bros.
Center for Urban Families, Joe Jones, Bernie Wallace, of course, the Godfathers, Lamar Shields, and David Miller. So we partner up, and I take a chance to partner up any chance I get. If I forgot anybody, please forgive me. Blame it on my head, not my heart.
Oh man, definitely facts.
Yeah, it's no doubt about it. Black Daddy Gang, shout out. So always willing to partner up. And that's one thing about the foundation is that we're looking to partner as much as possible. We got an event coming up, Block Party Back to School giveaway in August. Okay. So we definitely look to partner up with other groups on that and have as much impact as we can for the kids. Because the thing about it is, we always, we know we stronger together. We get past all this ego and pride and all that BS. You know what I mean? We can do so much.
Well, you know, ego and pride is something huge and running huge in our community right now. You know what I mean? That's why we have a spike in violence, I believe. I think that's why we have a lack of care. You know what I mean?
Couture said, let's golf. That's what's up.
He said, let's golf. Hey, brother, whenever you ready, bro. I mean, you know, I've been playing since I was 8, yo. So, I mean, y'all might not be ready yet. I plays for money, too, bro. I play for skins.
Top Golf just opened down there.
I'm talking about real golf, baby. We talking about real golf.
I ain't never played golf a day in my life. I got to start with Top Golf first before I get out there and do that.
He said, when we going to work together. The brother Nigel said, when we going to work together. Nigel Brown.
Whenever you talk to me, you can make it happen.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I was going to ask you, I was on a segue into my next question, was like, you said you got events coming up. So what is the mission, now that it's a nonprofit, what is the mission of the Black Fathers Foundation? Like, what is the mission?
It's thrifold.
Okay.
Number one is to be a funding organization.
Okay.
We're rolling out our 20 for 20 campaign, which involves $20,000 in scholarships for young men high school age who have already become fathers. We're doing $4,000, $5,000 scholarships apiece for these young men. We're also mentoring them and following them through college to ensure their success academically and their success as fathers. Just as equally as important. You gotta, you know what I mean? You gotta get the grades and keep them up and get your degree. But you also got to take care of your baby at the same time. So that's one of the missions. That's one of the things. And along with the funding is also funding and supporting other fatherhood organizations that are run by black men. So we're going to be a funder.
I like that.
A lot of times, you know, you hear about nonprofits, especially smaller local nonprofits, who are struggling and who are out here begging certain folks that don't always look like us for money.
For a couple pennies.
So we have a black organization. We have a group with 54,000, soon to be 55,000 black men in it. There's absolutely no reason why we can't be self-sustaining and support each other. And we don't have to go out and beg other people for funding. So question, before you go into the third piece, so being that there are 54,000 of us involved in this group or organization, are you looking to, once they transition from the group to the site, to become like a dues type of situation, even if it's something along the lines of $2 or $3 a month? That can be, you figure if we got 54,000 men and we all giving $3, of course, minus the fees that go for the processing, you're still looking at about 500,000 or so a year. You know what I mean? Absolutely. That dues is something to consider. I think when we get into chapters, we'll do that. For the time being, we're really pushing heavily on hitting that donation site, which is blackfathersfoundation.wedid.it / That's a lot. I'm gonna have to type that up, y'all. I'm gonna have to type that up. It's all over my page. Also, you can go to the Facebook page, the Black Fathers Foundation. We got the IG, Black Fathers Foundation, and Twitter.
Now, are you writing any new books? Because I know you're a published author. So tell us about the book. Tell us about how the book was received and the concept behind the book.
So the first book is I Want My Daddy to Do It. That's the one I published a few years back, and that, of course, is about my youngest son, Braylon, who, when he was about 2 to 3 years old, that was his favorite phrase. He would always say, if my mother said she wanted to help him with something, my wife, he'd be like, nah, I want my daddy to do it. So that was really well received. And the second one is going to be coming out, and that one will actually be underneath the nonprofit, so that would be to help sustain the nonprofit. So a percentage of that going to go, when people purchase the book, a percentage of that goes back 100%. 100% goes back it's to the all going back, to support the nonprofit. Wow. So keep that in mind. This one is still a ladybug. It's about my daughter and how she can run with the boys and play with their toys, but at the end of the day, she's still a lady. So when is that book scheduled to come out? I'm still working to get an illustrator. Yeah, because the title is dope. Options. Thank you. And I'm excited about getting it out. The thing about it is that I don't want to rush anything. No, absolutely not. We just got apparel in, which you can see. This is one of the shirts. Okay, and you do everything internal, right? Not with these, not anymore, because I'm getting so much It's so heavy. I gotta outsource. What
you heard that the boy said, boy, it's getting too heavy. I can't even do it in the crib no more. I got
outsource.
Boy. I gotta order me some Black Father's apparel, man.
These will be available. So we're gonna have all kind of merchandise to help sustain the foundation. Books. We're gonna do documentaries, and everything is not only tied to financial success and supporting it, but also again allowing fathers to tell their own story. So I'm writing my book. We'll have other fathers who will commission and write a book and sell it, and they can get a profit from that. I don't need to get a profit off.
So you may have like a mini publishing house underneath of the Black. That's slick.
Because everything we do, we want to support fathers in any way we can, and we want to get them accessibility to be able to tell their own story. That's what it's all about.
So being an educator and being working in this, because you work with the younger kids, so you get with the parents on a very connective level, because a lot of times they're super connected when they're little babies, and then as they get older, it's like the parents are like, where are the parents? Did you ever even have a parent? You know what I'm saying? Like, so like, why is it so important to be that example of a strong father or a leader in the path that you chose as far as working in school?
It's something innate really in me, and because when I teach, I look at everybody else's child and I treat them how I want my kids to be treated, right? And I want my children's teachers to do the same. I want them to treat my kids like they were their own, right? So that's really where it comes from. You feel me? That sense that real compassion and that empathy and that love that I really learned from my mother as a very young child. My mother did daycare for 3 decades or more, so I was really born into that, and that's really where I soaked it up from. And from there, it's just been that dedication, and not only that, I want to see our people win.
Yes, man. Likewise.
I want to see our people win so bad, man. That's what it is, and it's something. It's like I say to people, and don't get me wrong, I'm not comparing men to puppies, but you know the way that, like, I know for my daughter, like when she sees a dog or something or a puppy or whatever, is so. It does something to her. It makes her heart, you know what I mean? Or like
it makes her feel a certain kind of way, like them endorphins.
Like my wife, when she sees a baby, and you know what I mean, and she said her ovaries start dumping.
Because she's studying to be a doula, right?
Right, absolutely.
Okay, that explains a lot.
Yes. So when I through the years, when I would see, and even up to today, when I see black men in particular, and nothing against nobody else, but I am what I am.
Man, facts. I mean? I'm 100% certified.
So when I see black men with their kids, it just does my heart good.
Me too.
It makes me smile on the outside and inside.
And it's a lot of young, and you know what tickles my heart? When I see a lot of these young brothers with their kids. I be like, yo, pushing the stroller, or even if he not doing it right, or he may be smoking an L, walking down the street, pushing the stroller, at least he's active in his kid life. You know what I mean? Like,
I remember I was at the playground, and this is one of the things that pushed me too when my kids were really young. I seen a young guy, much younger than me, walk into the playground. He ain't had no diaper bag. He had one diaper in his back.
He always going
I said,
hard.
Get it, son.
Like,
he
said.
One diaper in his back pocket. And then just yesterday, one of my coworkers, who's younger than me, came up with his wife and his baby at the school, and he's pushing the stroller around by himself. His wife, I don't know where she was, probably talking to her female coworkers, whatever. And he's pushing the stroller around, showing everybody his baby. And that pride, man, that's something.
Like, this mine.
Yes, absolutely. And that's something, it shows really the evolution, because we didn't get that. Like, you know what I mean? My son is 20 years old, and yeah, I was out there doing it. But, like, prior to that, how many brothers were really, like, just super proud to show off their baby like that?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, when my son was born, my friends used to be like, yo, you obsessed, because, like, I my diaper bag, I used to make sure his bag was laced out. Like, outfits, extra milk, breast milk frozen, all that. Like, I was going hammer. I wanted to make sure everything that he needed, he had. You know what I mean? And that's why, like, it what's the word I'm looking for? It moves me to see, like, where the direction that this group is going in, because I know where it started from. Right. You know what I mean? Right. And I got to witness the events where it was just us. and a few other brothers. And then I witnessed the events when it was too many people. Like, we done did events trying to raise money. You know, came and did spoken word at several of my fundraising events. You know, so just to see where you came and how far you've come, like, are you have plans in the future of doing any type of fatherhood initiatives in the school system? Because I know you were doing like donuts with dads and stuff like that. Like, you was one of the pioneers with that. So what are some other things you're going to be looking forward to do next year? Because we was outside talking, you was like, hopefully you won't be returning back to the school year next year. So that says a lot to me. That means you have some great things lined up. So let's tell the people a little bit about. Well, they could. Howard County probably not even tuning in to what we got going on. This is they might be. All views expressed on site.
But no, just being very transparent. That's the word. Being very transparent, and my current principal already knows, and a whole lot of other people, that I have ambitions to eventually at some point leave the school system and be the executive director of this organization.
You should be.
And do public speaking all over the country, if not around the world. So if you got something, holler at your boy.
Yeah, definitely. We definitely been training.
Workshops and all of that sort of stuff. So, but the biggest things on the radar right now, we have two things. I got to get this out.
Okay.
For this year, coming in August, we have the block party that we're doing.
Okay.
In September, we have the launch event, September 28th. At Reginald Lewis Museum.
Nice. Reginald F. Lewis. Shout out to Reginald F. Lewis Museum, man. They're always showing the organizations, black organizations in the city love, man. For real. They always show love. Shout out to them.
So we're doing our launch gala, as my wife loves to call it.
Well, let's get it right. If it's going to be a gala, we definitely need all the support, because gala tickets are not $20. No, they're normally at least $1 and some change. So go ahead. I'm sorry, because I get real passionate about stuff like that. I hate the lack of support.
So we're doing that, and that's going to be a phenomenal event.
DJ Nicky Nick.
Definitely good food and entertainment. We'll also be honoring some fathers who have gone on to join the ancestors over the years.
Yes, shout out to my brother.
That we both know and love deeply.
If it wasn't for them fathers.
Also, we're going to be having some members of the group to come in and talk about the importance of the group and what it has done for them. And I'll certainly be talking about the direction of the foundation. So,
now, are you going to be doing anything around any health initiatives this year? Because the health is very important for us black fathers, especially our prostate health and things like that. Because, man, we was talking about earlier how a lot of brothers are under a lot of stress or have internalized a lot of things, and that impacts our health. So if we're not healthy, we can't really be strong, not only for our community, for our family, but our community or ourselves. So do you have anything in the wheelhouse or something in the radar going down the line as far as on the health aspect with the group?
For sure. One of the things that I'm thinking about currently that we will be working on is definitely on mental health and mental wellness. And I'll be partnering with Duran Young from Black Therapist Rock.
Oh, nice.
And doing some work around that. So we haven't totally fleshed that out, but we will be doing it. Other than that, we had to talk about like what's happening through the rest of the year. This biggest thing, we really want to get to these two events and this
the
launch.
Gala and those two, and then move from there.
Yes, sir. After that, we might have to recuperate and really start planning for 2020. Because again, we really got our big focus is, and I repeat this 20 for 20, $20,000 in scholarships. So we need your support for that any way that you can to get these scholarships up. And so we can.
So how are you selecting the children that receive the scholarships? So how are you selecting the young people or families that are receiving the scholarships?
So the plan currently as it is that we're looking in 4 separate spots around the country. Probably split it up like time zone or whatever to distribute.
I like that.
The wealth, and it's going to be. It's really going to be need based.
Okay.
So we're looking at that. We want to help support those that are in need.
So you're not looking for like the.
You don't got to be the strongest academic.
Okay, I'm about to say yeah.
Nah, you don't, and I don't want to base it on that, because the whole idea behind this is really supporting those that need that money. So is one of the criteria going to be like the person has to be a father? You already have to be a father in high school. That's the biggest one right there.
Okay.
And we're going to look at the need. You know, we definitely would want to have ambition. But I understand, especially as an educator, I understand that the best students aren't always the ones and the best learners aren't always the ones with the highest GPA.
Yeah, because I know I had a high GPA at certain points in school, but my GPA didn't really reflect how smart I was for real. You know, because there were times where my GPA was super low, but I was super intelligent. Like,
and especially if you already got a child, if you're in 11th, 12th grade and you got a child already, that's probably messing with your, with your GPA.
Yeah.
So we're going to take that into consideration.
Yeah.
You might not have the strongest grades. Now, we don't want to, throw money away and give you $5,000 and then you like, screw it.
Right now, as far as apparel and stuff like that, they can buy all the products online at the Black Fathers Foundation website. Everything's still on the other previous site that you had.
We haven't set it up as far as the shirts. I just got the first set of shirts, the first run. Okay. And we had to get it established and set up online. So
you're going to shut down all of the other platforms and just funnel everything through that, or
for right now, everything, all the donations and the sales and everything is going through the We Did It site.
Okay.
As far as donations.
So what is the We Did It site? Like, put us down for those that don't know about that, because I've never even heard of We Did It.
I hadn't either, and every time.
So it's like Acorn or something like that.
Look at the wife. So what it is it's a collaboration with Strong City is our fiscal sponsor, right? Okay. Right now.
Strong City.
For the time being.
I heard of them.
Yeah, that's what they do. They right up on Charles Street. They do fiscal sponsorship for organizations. There's another local one, Fusion, that does the same.
So with Strong City, they the ones that working with the Avenue Market at one point, right? They was doing like the fresh produce and all that. Strong City.
I don't want to lie. I believe it could be.
All right. Well, let's focus on what you got.
But I know they have a lot of projects that they work with. So the site that they use and the company that they use is called We Did It. So Callie has put up the link, and everything, all the donations funnel through there. You can go on the site and you just click on what you want to give and how often you want to give. It can be recurring. It can be one time.
I like that. Yeah. I would encourage everyone, even if it's a recurring payment of $5 a week or $5 a month. You know what I mean? That is going towards a good cause, man.
No doubt about it.
So the We Did It is like it's a crowdfunding source, but you can actually see what's going on.
And you can do more with the site. Like, we will be able to put the shirts up there when we get around to it, and we'll be able to sell the shirts straight through the site. We got a website in the works, blackfathersfoundation.org. I got a guy that I met actually out in San Jose, who I had gone to a Facebook event out there, met him, and he's in the process of
working. He's doing some pro bono work?
Not pro bono, but
he's giving you the Facebook love discount.
Yeah, he definitely is.
Well, tell him if you need a couple juices sent out there, you know what I mean, to get a little bit of the cost down. I'm definitely.
Yes, sir.
Oh, she said
we like the pledges.
We like pledges.
We sure do.
So y'all. So speaking of pledges, like, are y'all going to do anything as far as like fundraising wise ongoing with like youth or anything like that, or everything strictly for like the fathers to do, or?
No, we will. We got a lot we got to work out, right? And we're going to be fundraising around the clock, and I got all summer, and that's what people ask me, and my coworkers and stuff. What's your plans for the summer? I said, raising money, cut the check. But that's what it is.
So did you follow up with any of the brothers that we met for the BET thing? Because a lot of them was super interested in what we were doing.
So the brother Tyel, he said, I asked him in an email, I said, well, who do I need to talk to about corporate sponsorship? He said, I'm your man. So I sent him a letter yesterday just to thank him for having us, for inviting us and making us a part of it. And the next step is sending that letter asking for sponsorship. So from there, what we'll be doing is putting some things out for people that want to reach out to us in regard to sponsorship and partnership. So that's how we want to work it from the jump. And we will also create activities and stuff like that. That's another aspect of it.
I miss your activities, yo. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, I miss your little activities, yo. I ain't gonna lie, yo. Can we go hiking, yo? Like, can we go hiking again, yo? Like, that was cool, yo. Like, we go hiking.
Do all of that, but I gotta really, really work to have things in some kind of order. I gotta stop with the spontaneity.
All right, so my brother Nigel said, I tried reaching out through via social media. When I come home, we're going to build time to educate fathers on how to navigate the child support system.
That's what's up.
Yo, that's true, yo.
Oh, speaking of that, we got something coming up at Terra Cafe on the 13th, July 13th. partnering with We Are Parents. And we got to get that all together. But what it's going to be, it's going to be a brunch at Terra. Already got that locked in with the brother T at Terra
I
Cafe.
love what they did to that backyard. That joint hot.
Oh man, is it ever that jerk gotten you taste the jerk?
Yeah, no, I haven't had a chance.
You got to get that. But anyway, so we're doing a brunch, and the idea behind the brunch is not only getting the brothers together for fellowship and coming to eat together, but it's also a listening session for what we're going to do going forward as far as partnership with We Are Parents and teaching fathers about their rights. I'm so glad that Brother Nigel brought that up, because that's what we want to do, and that's a service that they provide.
Yeah, because a lot of brothers don't realize how much rights they do have.
Oh, yeah.
Like, we have a lot of rights.
Yep.
I mean, and
a lot of people don't know.
And you've had, I mean, since I've known you, you have your children since I've known you.
Yeah.
And you said you never went to child support. You never had to go through all the nonsense.
I got a special circumstance. I'm sort of a unicorn because my wife ain't show up to the divorce hearing.
Okay.
I got custody off the rip. You feel me?
Oh, so you got it on a happenstance.
Yeah.
That was
but
God bless you.
I would have fought her tooth and nail, Doug. You hear me? I would have fought her so hard, but I was blessed I didn't have to.
So let me ask you a question. And speaking of that, like, how has that like you raising your sons without their mother like around or whatever? How does that if it has impacted them any?
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? How is that? How did you deal with that? Because there's a lot of fathers that's got community families or combined families. You know what I mean? Like, so how did you navigate that?
It's been tough to a degree. I mean, I know that some people have to deal with situations that are tough as well in a different way when you're dealing with co-parenting. So to a degree, I was blessed because I didn't have to
deal with
send them back and forth. I didn't have to deal with drama, yada yada. But my middle son, you know, Bryce has gone through because he wanted his biological mom in his life, and she wasn't there. And she always lived no more than 15 minutes away, 20 minutes away. I see her here and there, and she just didn't want to be a mother. And it's been hard on him. My oldest son really, I think he holds on to some stuff, and he really don't want to let it out and say how he truly feels. So he acts like he don't care. I don't really know what's deep down inside.
They're about to say, because they at the age now where, though, are they able to, if they wanted to reach out? Or?
Yeah, well, Bryce has reached out, and we reached out to her. We really have tried. Bryce reached out to her, and
God bless her, man. You know what I mean? Like, but you know, it's you know, you hear a lot. And the reason why I brought that up, because you hear a lot about, they say men running from their responsibilities or not wanting to take care of responsibility. It just, I just want to hear from a different perspective from a brother who, you know what I mean?
Well, this what happened. I came home one night when we were still married. I came home one night. She said, "This ain't working out. You gotta go." This was 10 o'clock. I was at Yale Heights. I caught the bus.
I used to live in Yale Heights, yeah.
So,
go
anyway,
ahead.
I caught the bus at 10:30 at night from Yale Heights over to Argonne and Alameda, all the way across.
East, yeah.
All the way across.
That's what they call
city.
over east.
Yes, but before I shut that door and walked out, I said, I'm never not going to be in my kid's life. I'm coming back for them tomorrow. And that's what happened. I went back the next day and I took them on the bus with me. And we went to my mother's house.
And they've been rolling with you ever since?
Ever since.
Damn.
Then I had 2 more.
Damn. So you just bombed me with that one, because I didn't think it would. I mean, I knew a little bit, but I didn't know. You know what I mean? That's important, you know, when we're discussing, like, because I know I deal with a lot of brothers who have custody of their kids, but have went through, like, they wasn't married, but they went through, like, the whole child support system. You know what I mean? Whereas, though, one brother, he actually, the woman had to pay child support, but he didn't want to accept it, but the judge made her pay.
Wow.
And it kind of made her not want to take care of her children, and she wasn't around her kids. She don't take care of kids. She don't. And I feel bad because no one wins at the end. Right. You know what I mean? Exactly. The kids don't win. Exactly. The mother don't win. The father don't win. Yeah, you fortunate you had a wife that was understanding, because you could have had a wife that didn't even bang with your kids and gave them second love and not full love. You know what I mean? Man. So how was that? You know what I mean? How did you when you was picking your significant other, like, what were some of the things that, you know what I mean, led that to make that work?
So I
as a black father, because they say black men, we're not faithful. We are, though.
I always call my wife a superhero, because she came along. We were introduced to a mutual friend, and she came along at a time when I was really low. I was actually in the midst of the separation. Divorce wasn't even totally finalized, and we met, and she just was there for me, to support me, and she loved my kids, like, from the jump. and she became a mother to them. She didn't have any kids of her own, right? She didn't have any kids of her own. Early 20s, she could have done anything else in this world besides become a mother in a ready-made family. But she accepted me and my kids. And when you do that, like, what more could you want?
Right,
like,
true.
What more could you want? Somebody that could accept a 2 and a 3-year-old. You know what I mean?
At 20-something.
At 20-something. She could have done anything. And their biological mom had left them. I was a wreck. You know what I mean? I'm living with my mother at the time, right? I didn't hardly have nothing of my own except my kids.
And I think that's probably why a lot of brothers can relate to you, because your story real. Yeah. You know what I mean? You know, it's a lot of times people, you know, they go through something, but they share some of the story. Right, but sometimes the whole story. So people can hear you. Talk in the mic so people can hear me.
That's the first time you did that the whole time.
My bad. I'm working on it, Diamond Kevin. I was on time today. One step at a time for me, bro. One step. My bad. I'm back. Can y'all hear me?
But you were on time. At least you were
I was on time. I'm working on.
they'll be able to hear you.
Next week you'll hear me, so we want one step at a time. First on time. Next week you'll be able to hear me, and then we'll be rolling. Who said he won't cry?
Jamal. He said you better not.
He not gonna cry, yo. I mean, we having a real man conversation, bro. We tapping in our emotions up here as black fathers and as black men. You know what I mean? We don't do that enough. I ain't ashamed to be my emotions, brother.
Not at all.
But that he made me lose my train of thought. I had a nice question I was gonna ask you, yo. It was a dope. One of the questions was, though, as an interviewer, you like, yo, that's the one. Got him. Damn, yo. Oh, I know what it was. Dealing with brothers that were formerly incarcerated, trying to have access to their kids. That's a big one, yo. You know what I mean? Do y'all deal with that in the? Because it seems like most of the fathers that I've met are either married, solid bros, or, you know what I mean? Like, do y'all deal with, like?
To be honest, throughout the years, I don't remember that question really coming up. I mean, it's not to say, like, we got 54,000 people.
No, I'm not saying, yeah.
It's posts that come in all the time. So I'm pretty sure, but I just don't remember, like, the question coming up. And it hasn't been, honestly, it hasn't been a focus. But the thing for me is
because it's so wide. Like, it's like, where can you really focus your one energy on such a wide...
Right. But so what my thinking is, and what we are working toward, and again, is really what I said before, is that we want to be able to connect with groups and organizations that are already doing the work in different fields.
Right.
And we just want to bolster them. We don't want to be...
Like, y'all don't want to be the do-all, be-all of everything. Right. Y'all just want to be like a support system or an alignment agent for other organizations.
And grease their wheels with the money that y'all donate in the
grants. I love that. I love how you keep saying the money, but I love the money. A lot of money around here, shorty.
Because honestly, that's what it's really about. And I got to shout out Joe Austin. We had a conversation one day, and I was talking about what I wanted to do.
I thought you said Joe Austin. 5 minutes left.
I was thinking about that too.
All right, go ahead.
Joe Austin, Daddy University in Philly, and he said, Matt, and we were like 35,000, maybe 40, not even. And he was like, y'all need to be funding us. Like, he's been running Daddy University and all that. Y'all need to be doing this, doing that. And, you know, when we have an event, should be able to sponsor. And I'm like, you know what, you're right, because for as long as people told me you need to be able to leverage this, I didn't know exactly how. And then it started to come to me, and I was like, yeah, you're right. So the funding piece is the key thing. So everything we do is going to revolve around that, not just because you need money to do stuff, not just because we need the money, but we want to give the money to others and grease their wheels, because we recognize that there are already so many people out there
doing their thing and doing good work.
Winkler, who jumped on, you know, and so many others who are doing the work. We don't have to reinvent the wheel. What we got to do is get the money and grease their wheels so they can keep on going down the track they're already on.
And that's why I support you, bro. You're a humble brother, and you speak your mind. Even though your Facebook be ought to change sometime. It done calmed down a lot from the last 5 years. It used to be art the meat rack.
Some people got in my ear.
But we got about 4 or 5 minutes left, so I want to definitely make sure that you can give all your social media handles, all the upcoming events, dates-wise, where they can donate. Take your time. Leave it all out on the line. Let them know about the book. Anything Matt Prestbury, anything Black Fathers Foundation.
Yes, sir.
Because, you know, Black Fathers and Black Advocacy, I'm just, all over the place. But, yeah, 5 minutes, bro. tell them everything where they can find Matt Prestbury, how they can stay connected with Black fathers, and what they can do to support the Black Fathers Foundation.
All right, so first and foremost, Matt Prestbury, you can send me a friend request if you choose to. Black Fathers is the group. If you are a black man, and you honestly don't have to be a father. I just told a young brother at work, we have members in there who aren't fathers yet, but they wish to be at some point, and they want to see the ups and downs, the highs and lows, and get information before they even get that stick and see them 2 stripes and find out, and she say, we pregnant. You know what I mean?
Right.
So they get the information from being in the group. So if you're a black man, you can join Black Fathers. If you're not, and even if you are a black man still, Black Fathers and Company, that's the sister group, and we want everybody to be in that because we want people who aren't in the main group to be able to see a glimpse of what we had in the closed group. We still want the world to see. So Black Fathers and Company, those 2 groups on Facebook. Then we also have the Black Fathers Foundation page on Facebook. Mm-hmm. We have but on IG, it's Black Fathers Foundation. Mm-hmm. And again, the link is in the comments for the donation site, and that's blackfathersfoundation.wedid.it. / So that's where you can go to donate, and so check the comment for the links.
That's Black Fathers Foundation .wedid.it / you know what I mean? I'm gonna say that again slow. Black Fathers Foundation .wedid.it.
Yep.
All right. If you're gonna donate to anyone, I would definitely suggest donating to this organization. But I'm gonna let you finish giving the shouts out. You want to give any shout outs or anything like that? Upcoming events, please.
Yeah, absolutely. So first, I want to shout out our advisory board, all the advisory board members who are helping this happening, advisory and working board. Get ready because you're about to start working.
Yeah.
But for sure. So shout out to them and thanks to them for being committed. Shout out to everybody who has donated thus far and everybody who's about to make a donation. Stay tuned and stay connected to us because we're going to get the information out about the merchandise.
I can't wait.
99 shirts sitting in my house waiting.
And they all probably sold already.
The book is also coming, Still a Ladybug. So as long as you stay connected with that, you'll get information. We'll also, when the website comes out, we will be doing an email list. So we'll be sending out emails and everything. So we'll be collecting emails. So if you want to message us, what you can do is message us at the Black Fathers Foundation page on Facebook, and you can leave your email address if you want to get on our email list. We have to solidify the date, but we have a block party coming up. We're looking at August 10th here in Baltimore, block party back to school giveaway, and we're looking for resource providers and vendors for that. And also on 9/28, we locked in for Reginald Lewis. It's going to be the Black Fathers Foundation launch gala event.
The first annual Black Fathers Gala is going down at the Reginald F. Lewis Museum. That's September the 28th. Do we have a time yet?
It is 7 to 11.
7 to 11. So are you going to have a solid auction there and stuff like that, or are you still working out all the details?
We are working out all the details, but we plan on having a silent auction, and we're looking for anybody who wants to submit an item that they want to put up in a silent auction to help us raise funds.
I'll officially say we'll put a 1-day juice cleanse on there. It's a retail valued at about $44. Hopefully they'll bid to get it for a buck and some change. So that's live on the fire. I do real support. I don't do the lip service. We do real support around here. So again, thank you, brother Matt Prestbury. It was a pleasure and an honor to interview you. Even though you my brother, it didn't feel like I was interviewing my brother. It felt like I was interviewing a man on purpose, a man that's on a mission, a man that I look up to on a variety of things, on just being an outstanding father, a community advocate. Because I don't like to say activists, because I believe that we all advocate for those that can't advocate for themselves, especially fathers, especially black fathers, because we get a bad name. And a lot of times black fathers need just as much support as any human, because it's hard enough walking around this planet as a black man, let alone a black man and a black father. So you got a double negative going against you, quote unquote, in this world that we live in. So I just want to say thank you again for coming on Restoring the Village Radio. I wish Angie and Tasha was here. Black Fathers, you already know what it is. Shout out to all the brothers out there. And until next time, tune in, Shout out to Angie again. Shout out to Tasha. But again, we don't have good evenings. We create them. We create the life we want. We create the energy that we want around us so we can spread our love to the world. So again, thank you, brother Matt Prestbury. You appreciate it. If anything else you want to say before we get out of here. If not, peace and health, everyone. Love y'all.
Peace and power.
My man. My man. And my engineer left me, y'all. You know what I mean? DJ. Where my music at? I'm done. Restoring the Village Radio. You already know. Peace and health. Love y'all.